second announcement is related to the food.
The hotel.
Where are you coming from?
Yeah.
So what time did you get in yesterday? Oh yeah, for me it's 24 hours.
Get started. Feel free to get food, to walk in front, to still talk, it's okay. This is the introduction announcement where I have to thank all the sponsors and stuff. So you can still have your conversation, still eat loudly, it's okay. Good, this is a formality. But I just wanted to thank everyone for coming out this evening for our event, a very Canadian, Coup in Haiti 20 years later. So my name is Edmonds. I'm a assistant professor here in community engaged learning and Caribbean studies. So I'm really happy to bring three amazing speakers to Toronto to speak to the legacy of the 2004 coup and Canada's role in it. Before I get into that in more detail, I just wanted to thank the sponsors, the Center for Caribbean Studies, the New College Initiative Fund, the Black Student Engagement Fund, the Center for the Study of the United States African Studies, the Department of Political Science, Geography and Planning, History, the Center for Diaspora and Transnational Studies, Critical Studies in Equity and Solidarity, Global Development Studies at UTSC, the Caribbean Studies Student Union, and the Caribbean Solidarity Network. I had to go to all those groups and beg for money so that we could have the event. Some of you are from those places. Leah, what's up? You got people here? So thank you. So literally without the support, we wouldn't be having this event. And I wanted to thank as well the faculty and staff in Caribbean Studies for helping to put this on. There was some last minute heroics to make things come through in terms of getting the catering. I want to thank Dupain. They're the ones taking care of the catering tonight. Amazing Haitian restaurant, 774 Danforth Avenue. So make sure to support them. Go get seconds, get thirds. And I also want to thank one of our speakers who could not be here tonight, Gabrielle Paul. She did her best, but due to the situation that's unfolding in Haiti at the moment, given the she's from Jeremy, so it's one of the areas where it's undergoing a lot of political turmoil. It's quite dangerous for people to move around, but also due to the difficulty of Haitians getting visas to come to Canada, she was not able to make it. So she did get the visa approved and was supposed to be here tonight, but due to some, what we will say are unfortunate technicalities, she's not able to join us. So she would have been the fourth speaker with us tonight, so it's a real shame. So hopefully we can bring her up soon, and we'll get to talk with Gabby in the very near future. So about tonight's event, the title I think is quite self-explanatory. Some of you, if you've been in my classes, you know it's probably something I talk about every 25 minutes when we're in the class and redirect a lot of our discussion back to Haiti. But the timing of the event is significant. On February 29th, 2004, the Canadian military participated in the overthrow of the democratically elected president of Haiti, Jean-Bertrand Aristide. And under Aristide, Haiti was making progress towards building what we could call a moderate people's democracy, meaning that there was some give and take, there was some feedback. In political science, he was dismissed as a populist, a demagogue, a terrorist, a cannibal. Basically anything you could do to kind of deride what was happening. Since then, we've seen a big shift in the narrative where we don't really tend to talk about the leaders that come and go in Haiti, their political affiliation. These contradictions are really why we're here, but it's not the only one. The big reason why we're doing this here at U of T is because the Canadian government was directly involved in orchestrating, carrying out, and consolidating the coup in Haiti, the effects of which carry on to this date. So when we look at what Aristide's record is, we know that there's controversy around him, the narrative around him. We also understand why that's the case. But if he's able to put Aristide under what we could say an objective light, if such a thing is possible, he took the country a lot further than any other leader has. And so we need to try and break apart why he's so hated, why he's so demonized. So for almost 20 years, Canada has pushed the lie that Aristide had resigned and fled the country due to a popular uprising, and denied any wrongdoing via this violent intervention into Haiti's political affairs. Not only was the Canadian military involved, but the Canadian government also directed and funded a lot of Haiti's opposition parties, non-governmental organizations on the ground. They withheld aid to the Aristide government to undermine his ability to govern. They engaged in a coordinated demonization campaign in the media, and they organized the Ottawa Initiative in 2003 with the plan to remove Aristide from power. This was all this stuff of conspiracy for a long time. So those of us in the Haitian Solidarity movement, a number of you are in this room, so I'm glad to see a lot of familiar faces. We've been pushing this, that is a lie, right? That Aristide was directly removed from power with the help of the Canadian government. Since then, Canadian political officials have admitted their role in overthrowing Aristide, and so has the French ambassador to Haiti at the time, on the record. It's been in the, well, if you believe that, in the New York Times, but they call it the paper of record, so take what you will with that. They've also printed that and acknowledged that. So much of Haiti's current crises and political breakdown can be traced back to this catastrophic consequences unleashed by this intervention. By no means are we saying the entire situation can be traced back to 2004, but a lot of the current breakdown, when we look at state institutions, political instability, the unleashing of violence, the very, very soon to be multilateral intervention led by Kenya, all of these things are connected back to 2004. So we're here to actually challenge that narrative that the Canadian government was there to actually help. It was a humanitarian intervention, when in reality it unleashed the exact thing that they were trying to do, which was to help the Haitian people. Fantastic speakers today. So the first is Dr. Jemima Pierre, who's a professor of global race at the Social Justice Institute at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver. She's also a research associate with the inaugural Center for the Study of Race, Gender, and Class at the University of Johannesburg. Trained as a sociocultural anthropologist with a special focus on Africa and the African diaspora, her teaching and publications cover a wide range of topics that include race and political economy, the politics of migration and diasporas, the racial history of the discipline of anthropology, Western resource extraction in Africa, and the history and politics of U.S. imperialism in Haiti and the Caribbean. She's the author of The Predicament of Blackness, Post-Colonial Ghana and the Politics of Race, and her next book of Natives, Ethnics, and True Negroes, A Counter-History of Anthropology, will be published later this year. Dr. Pierre is also continuing work on her manuscript, Haiti, the Second Occupation. Dr. Pierre was born in Grossmorne, Haiti, and raised in Miami, Florida. She's also currently also the co-coordinator of the Haiti Americas team for the Black Alliance for Peace. So I wanted to welcome Dr. Pierre. So what we're going to do, it will be Dr. Pierre, Etant, and then Jean, and then we're going to open it up for Q&A. We have the room until 9 o'clock. We'll see what happens. But yeah, you're welcome to come up to the front. There's the microphones that are there. They should all be live. They're turned on. Jemima, I don't know if you wanted to speak from there or come to the podium. It's up to you.
I'll sit.
You sit? Okay.
Hello everyone, it's so good to see you all. I'd like to first thank Kevin for inviting me and for doing all this work to organize us. To commemorate this really terrible event that happened 20 years ago. So I'm just going to go right into my talk. I'd like to thank the staff, whoever's doing all the work, for making sure that we're here. My comments today focus on the general refusal to acknowledge that since 2004, Haiti has been under foreign occupation that was initiated by U.S., France, and Canada-led Coup and adopted and managed through the machinery of the United Nations. But the simple fact of both the coup and the violence of the international legal mechanisms used against Haiti and its people have been shamefully ignored. What enables the refusal to acknowledge the occupation of Haiti? I briefly tried to demonstrate how it is both how the occupation was established and its structure that helped to deny its existence. And I argue that the 2004 coup d'etat, planned and enabled by the U.S., France, and Canada, has been one of the most consequential events in the history of Haiti. It is singular in its significance, not only for the history of Haiti, but in how it signifies a key victory for U.S. and Western imperialism. In the global struggle for decolonization, we ignore Haiti's plight at our peril. Now, I want to mark the 2004 coup d'etat by presenting a partial timeline. I use the timeline to offer a different way to understand and situate contemporary Haiti, to behold the sequence of events, to allow a temporalized access to a set of details that enable us to assess a complex, volatile, and changing context. It is also to demonstrate how consistent the imperial assault on Haitian people and Haitian sovereignty has been and remains. A partial timeline, also an archive. January 31st, February 1st, 2003. It is dubbed the Ottawa Initiative, and the objective is to decide the future of Haiti's governance. The Liberal Canadian administration of Jean Chrétien organized the two-day conference at Leech Lake. The conference is attended by Dennis Paredes, Secretary of State of Canada for Latin America, Africa, and Francophonie, representatives of the OAS, members of the European Economic Commission, French Minister of Corporation, Pierre-André Lotzer, two high-ranking officials sent by the U.S. Secretary of State, Colin Powell, and one person from El Salvador. No Haitian government officials are invited. March 15, 2003. Journalist Michel Pastel publishes one of the only reports on the Ottawa Initiative of Haiti in L'Actualité, a magazine in Quebec. Pastel writes that the real goal of the meeting was to plan for regime change. The discussion included, quote, the possibility of Aristide's departure, the need for a potential trusteeship over Haiti, end quote. April 7, 2003. On the occasion of the bicentennial anniversary of the death of Toussaint Louverture, Haitian President Jean-Bertrand Aristide announces that he will ask France to pay back the independence indemnity. Aristide states that the indemnity is equivalent to today's $21 billion, US dollars. He declares, quote, France extorted this money from Haiti by force, should give it back so that we can build primary schools, primary health care, water systems, and roads, end quote. In response to Aristide's call for reparations, President Jacques Chirac, French President Jacques Chirac, responded with a threat, quote, before bringing up claims of this nature, authorities of Haiti need to be very vigilant about the nature of their actions and their regimes, end quote. January 1, 2004. People in Haiti, as well as Haitians worldwide, celebrate the 200th anniversary of the country's revolutionary founding. Late January to early February 2004, there are protests of several groups against President Aristide. The protests are widely covered in the Western media. There are also numerous and larger rallies, counter-rallies by supporters of the Aristide government, with the largest one occurring on February 7, 2004. The Western media barely mentions the rallies, the pro-government rallies. During Aristide's first and second terms, the government created enemies to both the left and the right of the political spectrum. Leftist group condemned the Famille Lavalas for its cooperation with structural adjustment and accused it of being anti-populaire. At the same time, Famille Lavalas has always been the largest and most popular political voting bloc in the country. The major forces of the political right are the traditional Haitian elite, business people and intellectuals, and the various institutions of the U.S. government, particularly the international non-government organizations that it supports through the USAID, U.S. Agency for International Development. A 15-party anti-Aristide coalition formed, known as Convergence, It includes every faction of the Haitian dominant class, and despite anemic support from the voting public, they were able to converge on $3 million a year funding from the International Republican Institute, a Republican Party arm of the National Endowment for Democracy. Haitian-American political scientist Robert Faton explains that, quote, among the Haitian elite, hatred for Aristide was absolutely incredible, an obsession, end quote. One of the, thus it was members of this convergence, right-wing convergence, that funded over 10 years, over the 10 years of Aristide's tenure, a growing armed resistance. One of the leaders was Guy Philippe, a former member of the Haitian military who was incorporated into the national police when Aristide dissolved the military in 1995. He later moved to the Dominican Republic, where he gathered soldiers and ammunition to stage more attacks. This group was initially trained by agents in the Dominican Republic and later by US Special Forces. And between 2001 and February 2004, the paramilitary group had been staging minor incursions into the countryside, rural towns ill-equipped to deal with an armed invasion. By late 2003, their attacks intensified. February 22nd, 2004, a BBC headline reads, Haiti rebels capture key city, with a report that around 200 fighters had entered the port city of Cap-Haïtien, seized the control of the airport, attacked, looted, set fire to 4 police stations. February 23rd, 2004, 50 US Marines land in Haiti, purportedly to protect US interests, property, and the lives of citizens. Around the same time, there are news reports of the US, France, and Canada asking the democratically elected president to step down. February 25th, 2004, French Foreign Minister Dominique Villepin sends a formal letter to the other members of the UN Security Council asking the UN to prepare for regime change in Haiti through 2 things. 1, quote, the immediate establishment of a civilian peacekeeping force. The international force will be responsible for guaranteeing the return of public order. 2, preparing a presidential election in Haiti by establishing an electoral commission and organizing international observer missions, end quote. February 26, 2004, as the threat looms of an armed attack by the small band of US-sponsored Haitian paramilitary soldiers led by Guy Philippe, CARICOM, the organization representing the 15-nation Caribbean community, appeals to the United Nations Security Council for help of international peacekeeping forces to protect the Haitian presidency. France, a permanent member of the Security Council, flatly rejects the call. On the same day, the Guardian newspapers run a celebratory article on Guy Philippe entitled, A Family Man and a Fan of George W. Bush, end quote. February 27, 2004, CARICOM quietly negotiates with some friendly nations to provide arms, ammunition, and riot gear for the under-equipped Haitian National Police. The Republic of South Africa, whose president, Thabo Mbeki, had just attended Haiti's bicentennial celebrations, agrees to send military equipment to resupply Haiti's embattled police. February 28, 2004, George W. Bush regime issues a statement from the White House on Haiti hinting at regime change. The statement reads in part, quote, the long simmering crisis is largely of Mr. Aristide's making. His own actions have called into question his fitness to continue to govern Haiti, end quote. February 28 and 29, 2004. In the early morning hours of February 29, 2004, US Deputy Ambassador to Haiti, Luis Moreno, accompanied by 12 heavily armed US commandos, come to the home of President Jean-Bertrand Aristide and ordered the democratically elected president and his family into a car for a ride to the Toussaint Louverture International Airport. The Aristide family and close aid are directed onto an unmarked US jet, and President Aristide is flown out of Haiti and away from power. This would be the 200 years and 26 days after the defiant founding of the Republic of Haiti. At the moment that Aristide is taken out of the country, a Haiti-bound Boeing 747 filled with South African military equipment is actually in Jamaica refueling, only 300 miles away. That same early morning, after the Aristides are escorted to the airport, Haiti's Supreme Court Justice Boniface Alexandre is picked up by the US Ambassador to Haiti, James Foley, and driven to the Haitian Prime Minister's house in preparation for his ascension to power. Haiti's Prime Minister Yvonne Neptune would later report that he did not participate, as dictated by Haitian law, in the swearing in of Haiti's US-installed new interim president. By this time, 2,000 US, French, and Canadian soldiers were already underground in Haiti. February 29, 2004, CARICOM chair, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, P.J. Patterson, releases a statement, quote, "The removal of President Aristide in these circumstances sets a dangerous precedent for democratically elected governments anywhere and everywhere, as it promotes the removal of duly elected persons from office," end quote. In the meantime, at behest of the permanent members US and France, the UN Security Council suspends its normal 24-hour pre-vote consultation and pushes through a resolution that authorizes, quote, "the immediate deployment of a multinational interim force to secure and stabilize the capital, Port-au-Prince, and elsewhere in the country," end quote. UN Resolution 1529 is under Chapter 7 of the new UN Charter. Unlike a Chapter 6 resolution, which refers to peacekeeping missions where the parties in conflict gives their consent to the presence of foreign forces, Chapter 7 resolution demands no such consent. It must be noted that Haiti is the only place in the world that was not embroiled in civil war that received the Chapter 7 deployment, where UN forces are allowed to use military force to pacify the population. The UN Security Council resolution also recognized the swearing in of Haiti's head of Supreme Court, Boniface Alexandre, as acting president, supposedly in accordance to the Constitution of Haiti. Alexandre's first act as interim president is to submit official requests to the United Nations Security Council to send a multinational military force to Haiti. Unlike the earlier request by CARICOM to support the elected government, Alexandre's request is immediately approved by the Security Council. The Bush administration, through Donald Rumsfeld, initiate Operation Secure Tomorrow, a force of about 1,000 extra US Marines that arrive in Haiti within a day. French, Canadian, and Chilean troops are expected to arrive in the morning. March 1st, 2004. President Aristide and family descend on the US military plane, from the US military plane in Bangui, the capital of the Central African Republic. They had spent countless hours on the plane. From Haiti, the unmarked plane had landed on the island of Antigua and remained on the tarmac for hours. During this time, the Antiguan government officials were not made aware of the plane's passengers, and the Aristides were not allowed to move from their seats on the plane or raise the window blinds. Headlines from US media at the same day, quote, "Aristide resigns, flies into exile," Washington Post. CNN International, "Aristide arrives for African exile." New York Times, "Haiti's president forced out, Marines sent to camp keep order." The same day, it is early morning in Washington, D.C., and I wake up and turn the radio to local Pacifica affiliate station WPFW. The news show Democracy Now! Has just come on with an exclusive breaking news report. U.S. Congresswoman, chairperson of the Congressional Black Caucus, Maxine Waters, is speaking live. She says that she is just speaking to President Aristide by phone. Quote, "He's anxious for me to get the message out so people will understand. He is in the Central Republic of Africa, and he's surrounded by military. It's like in jail," he said. He said that he was kidnapped. He said that he was forced to leave Haiti. He said that the American embassy sent the diplomats and ordered him to leave. But one thing that was very clear, he said over and over again that he was kidnapped, that the coup was completed by the Americans, that they forced him out. Later, Amy Goodman speaks to Randall Robinson, an African-American lawyer and activist, and founder of the prominent Trans-Africa Forum. Robinson also relays his recent conversation. "The president called me on a cell phone that was slipped to him by someone. He has no landline out to the world and no number at which he can be reached. The president asked me to tell the world that it is a coup, that they have been kidnapped, that they have been abducted. He did not resign." March 4, 2004. The Jamaican Observer reports an Associated Press story on where says CARICOM calls for UN probe of Aristide's ouster. And it says, the story says, Caribbean leaders yesterday called for a United Nations-led investigation into Sunday's ouster of Jean-Bertrand Aristide from the Haitian presidency. CARICOM felt betrayed by the US, France, and Canada, end quote. March 5th, in addition to the US troops, around 2,000, a new contingent of foreign troops arrived. There are 500 French troops, 160 Chilean troops, 100 more Canadian troops, and assorted other nationals. March 9th, the breaking with the Haitian Constitution, the so-called international community, that is US, France, and Canada, sets up a council of stages made up to choose a new prime minister. Gerald Latourtour, a UN bureaucrat and business consultant who had been living in the US for the past 30 years and was still living in the US, was selected as prime minister and appointed head of the new Haitian government. March 12, 2004, Latourtour is sworn in as Haiti's provisional minister. Several governments, Jamaica, St. Kitts and Nevis, Venezuela, and Cuba, as well as the African Union, do not recognize this new government. Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez declares, quote, "My government does not recognize the one government placed by the United States in Haiti," end quote. It is important to note that Latourtour's early acts in office, one of the first early acts in office, was to rescind the application made by the Aristide government demanding $21 billion in restitution from France. April 30th, 2004, the United Nations Security Council passes and unanimously adopts Resolution 1542, which establishes a United Nations Stabilization Force in Haiti. MINUSTA is the acronym for the French translation. The military component is responsible for maintaining the mission's primary mandate. The civilian leadership of MINUSTA is made up of 3 councils of the UN Security General, men from Guatemala, the US, and Canada. At the same time, the resolution establishes the core group, and that includes leaders of the mission as well as international financial institutions and major stockholders. The military component has 6,700 troops from 167 countries. The government of Brazilian President Lula Ignacio da Silva provides the military leadership for these troops. MINUSTA will not be subject to Haitian laws. August 2, 2006, a secret cable to Washington sent by Ambassador to Haiti, Janet Sanderson, reports a high-level meeting of top UN and US officials in Haiti that occurred on July 25th, under the heading, quote, "Aristide movement must be stopped," end quote. January 12, 2010, 4:53 p.m., local time in Haiti, a 7.0 magnitude earthquake hits. Its epicenter is near the town of Léogâne, 16 miles west of Port-au-Prince. The southern cities and towns crumble. An estimated 300,000 people perish. 1.5 million are left homeless. November 28, 2010, the first round of Haitian presidential election in Haiti takes place. The timing was difficult. The earthquake posed a number of challenges, the most serious of which are millions of people who are displaced and disenfranchised. The US, France, and Canada, however, insist that the Haitian government hold elections and provide $29 million in logistical support. When elections are set, the Provisional Electoral Council, Haiti's electoral authority, bans Family Lavalas, the political party founded by Aristide and the largest and most popular party in the country. Michel Martelly, the entertainer turned presidential contender, comes in 3rd place, but not in the decisive 2nd round. In between the 1st and 2nd round elections, Hillary Clinton travels from the Middle East at the height of the Arab Spring to Haiti to demand the removal of Jude Celestin from 2nd place, so that the 2nd round will be a contest between the US preferred candidates, Martelly and Manigat. Martelly was placed on the ballot for the runoff of the presidential elections, despite coming in 3rd place. March 20th, 2011, the 2nd round of the elections occurred. Half the members of the Presidential Electoral Council refused to ratify the results. Less than 23% of Haiti's registered voters had their vote counted. It is in either 2 presidential rounds. It is the lowest electoral participation in the hemisphere since 1945. April 4, 2011, Michel Sweetmiki Martelly is declared president of Haiti. He reportedly received less than 20% of the vote from the 4.5 million registered voters. July 7, 2021, I'm skipping ahead, sorry. Jovenel Moïse, the installed successor to Michel Martelly, is assassinated. July 11, 2021, the core group issues a tweet declaring Ariel Henry, who had been named but not officially installed by the time of Moïse's assassination, that he would assume the official role of Prime Minister of Haiti. October 2nd, 2023, the US manages to get the UN Security Council to vote to authorize a non-UN security mission to Haiti, presumably to take care of an internal gang problem. It must be noted that the US has been trying for more than 2 years to get a UN-sanctioned buildup of the military presence in Haiti to protect the puppet government of the unelected and unpopular Ariel Henry. Importantly, Resolution 2699 was passed under Chapter 7 of the United Nations Charter, which, similar to the resolution that began the occupation, allows the use of deadly force against the people. Haiti has officially lost its nominal sovereignty again in late February 2004. The country has been under foreign occupation that was initiated by US, France, Canada, and adopted and managed through the machinery of the United Nations. But the simple fact of both the coup and the violence of this have been ignored. 4 points need to be made about the deployment of the UN peacekeeping mission to Haiti. First, Haiti was the only country not engulfed in civil war that received the UN Chapter 7 deployment. Most countries that receive a Chapter 7 deployment are on the African continent, such as the Democratic Republic of Congo. Second important point is that the armed deployment was that those who played a role in backing and aiding the removal of Haiti's sitting president, France and the US, were also permanent members of the UN Security Council, the only body with the power to deploy a multinational peacekeeping force. Linked to this, and the third point to make about the UN deployment and later occupation, is that the narrative used to justify it is concocted by the same two countries. Despite all evidence pointing to the reality that Aristide was kidnapped, all the UN security documents and resolutions about Haiti used the justification of his quote-unquote resignation. They used that as justification for intervention. And finally, the most egregious point is that the so-called Haitian interim government that the UN Security Council claimed to have asked for a stabilizing force was illegitimate. Remember, Haiti's interim bona fide president was fraudulently installed. Taken together, these realities demonstrate how the entire UN deployment and occupation, based on a coup d'etat sponsored by 2 states of the UNC, the claims that the president resigned, and the illegal swearing in of an illegitimate head of state, all were fraudulent. To add insult to injury, most of the UN resolutions refer to securing Haiti's sovereignty, as the sovereignty could coexist with foreign political control and military occupation. This is especially since the UN's core group continues to be, today, the arbiter of colonial, not neo-colonial, but direct rule of Haiti. Western imperialism in Haiti is a hierarchical structure established through the power of the US as a superpower, which then outsources the colonial control of Haiti to others. Thus, for example, one of the reasons that the occupation of Haiti, which began in 2004, is not deemed as such is that while it was initiated and largely funded by US, France, and Canada and the UN, Haiti's sovereignty has been extinguished by a multiracial coalition of Caribbean, Latin American, and African countries. This may be the most sinister and least talked about aspect of the occupation, but the most effective. How do you hide an occupation? Well, you diversify it. Now, the current goal is to use Kenya and other Caribbean countries in the effort. US imperialism also involves an array of activities, from diplomatic influence to cultural warfare, to lawfare, to military intervention and occupation, political occupation. These activities depend on a coordinated network among US institutions, the US State Department, the US intelligence apparatus, its mammoth aid apparatus, and perhaps most importantly, the use of Western media. For example, it's no secret that the CIA front, the National Endowment for Democracy, funded several Haitian civil society groups against the country's elected president. Then there's the Western media, which is predisposed to a very certain to a very certain language and pictorial and racist representation of Haiti and places on the African continent. Thus, a review of more than 200 years of Western media coverage on Haiti would reveal the same language about Haiti as a place of violence, chaos, savagery, and anarchy. US, France, and Canada's actions in Haiti over the past 20 years demonstrate the country's critical place as a laboratory of US and Western imperialism. And US imperialist actions in Haiti have and continue to fundamentally shape internal dynamics in the country, the national terrain of class and color conflict, of politics and culture, of accommodation and resistance. The occupation began in 2004 and continues, has spectacularly snuffed out Haiti's sovereignty. The US, France, and Canada's work in Haiti was, in fact, the most successful exercise of neo-imperial sabotage and constitutes the most successful exercise of neo-imperial sabotage. The US and France and Canada were able to remove a democratically elected president, bypass the country's constitution, install prime ministers, presidents, oversee the complete dismantling of the Haitian state, all with the solid support of the world. In fact, not only did the coup of 2004 topple one of the most popular governments in Latin America and the Caribbean, but it managed to topple it in a manner that wasn't widely criticized or recognized as a coup at all. And even today, most people in the world do not understand that Haiti is currently under occupation. While the 2004 coup continues, the 2 centuries-long imperial counterinsurgency against Haiti has aimed to terminate the most ambitious revolutionary experiment in the modern world. Haiti also remains the site of one of the longest struggles for Black liberation. The struggle continues.